much of stress in your eyes.
You really shouldn't. I feel like we shouldn't actually get too much into that. I feel like the rank games definitely will be closing out soon. So anyone from Mythic 100 below 100 stars will be reset to Epic 2, and everyone on Epic Mythic 100 stars above will be on Legend, depending on the tier. So check out the Mobile Legends Facebook page for more information about that. Otherwise, the picks, everyone's been just very relaxed here in the rank season. Everyone's just trying out new things, experimenting.
Yep. While some are still trying to, trying to up their rank as much as they can, like in the last few days. Actually, one of our co-casters, he mentioned he's gonna stop with Legend 1. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
without further
absolutely
ado,
fine.
we're gonna jump into the pick and draft phase.
All right, so we
Alrighty,
are.
so that took some time. This is game 1. So again, guys, share the live stream, invite your friends. This is the first game between BREN Esports versus EVOS PH.
Yeah, very interesting addition here for EVOS PH. Of course, they have Doofenshmirtz in the lineup, so that's something different that they're gonna have. We're gonna have to wait and see if that's gonna be big. And if you guys follow Mobile Legends, you guys will know who Doofenshmirtz is. Of course, a lot of these players very high up in the ladder, as well as, of course, BREN Esports, team that needs no introduction at all.
First two bans, nothing new, I guess. They banned out Hellcurt, they banned out Harith, of course. Usually in this type of situation, I'm more interested to see on who's gonna be their third ban, because that's usually what we call the adjust ban.
Yeah, that's something that's gonna happen after the third pick. So Hellcurt and the Grok, very interesting bans here for BREN Esports, leaving a lot open on the first rotation. They will have first pick, and I feel like first pick Cho is a huge possibility,
Yes.
if not the cushion for UG.
Yeah. Well, Kimi, I guess, is open as well, unless, alright, EVOS did ban them out. So Gushin, Cho open, Claude as well. Let's just see who is the hero that BREN will prioritize.
Yeah, Cho is probably gonna be the first one here. If I don't know if both of these teams have a very high standing on Kagura and Gushin, so that might be where they will go against the ones that they will be drafting over. And Cho, as predicted, will be the one for BREN Esports.
That's probably gonna go to Hayes, but
Alright. I mean, there's a 90% chance Hayes is gonna be using that. Rebo does sometimes use it as an off lane. I know for a fact Hayes really doesn't like playing it at all anymore, so I'm not sure.
He's done with that phase.
He feels like he could move on to more. So a Cho lock-in will probably mean Belleric might not be up for contention unless they want to. Of course, on the other side, EVOS goes for some orthodox picks here. Very powerful, but at the same time, it's weird that they got picked first. Lunox and Lemur.
Well, I can understand why they'd first pick Lunox, well, since Lunox is quite powerful in the mid to late game. And she's probably the best mage we have, just for me. She's probably the best mage that you can put in a lineup anyway. For BREN Esports, I'll run Belleric.
Okay, there we go. Belleric first priority, and that means Rebo is gonna be the one to lock in that Cho. Rebo on the Cho. Coco on that Claude, obviously, because he's globally ranked and he's very powerful on that hero. So a lot of these are comfort picks here for BREN Esports.
Yep.
Not to mention really new ones, new things to be seen on this regular season.
Alright. Minotaur, alright.
A Minotaur is not, it's kind of predicted. You already expect these guys to play it. Honda really likes playing these heroes, either Akai or Minotaur.
And thing is, if they
Your
don't
team
pick a
is
tank
banning.
for the third slot, there's a high chance that Bren is gonna ban out Minotaur, since they do know there's a high chance they're gonna pick it.
Yep, Minotaur, now that's going to be the second ban out, so a lot of bans going to be up for marksman, basically remove carry or remove another big tank. So many
Maybe?
options here, maybe remove, I don't know, do you want a double mage removal for removing Gushin? It could happen. Man, BREN Esports really taking their time on that one, stops the
Your
Selena
team is
instead.
banning.
Okay, that's something that they really don't want to play with, apparently. BREN Esports, man. They come up with really, really funny stuff.
They do, but you know, it's their thing. Just let them. I really didn't expect them to ban out Selena. I
Yeah.
was expecting them to ban another tank, maybe
ban-
an Akai, but
yeah.
or Lolita. I don't know, but okay.
Ban here is Kagura for sure. There you go. It
Your
was either a
team is
Kagura or a
picking.
Gushin. Those were the biggest options, and
They're probably gonna
removing,
pick up Gushin. There's a
Yep.
good chance they're gonna pick up Gushin.
double mage composition for Evos can work. However, they will need to weigh if that is worth denying from Mr. Yuji. Another big mage to get is that Gushin. Is Doofen gonna take it?
Oh,
Apparently not. They will go for the composition itself. Go for a fighter. Famos is gonna be good for sustaining, and it's gonna be good for team fight. So Evo's definitely drafting around into the
Your
team fighting
is
here.
picking.
Alright, and here we are for the last two picks for BREN Esports. Let's wait and see who are they gonna pick. Another tank, well, Akai is open, and again, Gushin's open. Like what,
Yeah.
well, like what we keep on saying earlier.
Gushin will be going there over to Yuji. No surprises whatsoever. They were already being corralled into that space by Evo, so this might be something that Evo's already expects. However, do they expect two mages from BREN Esports?
I don't think they did, because even I have not did not
Your team
expect that.
is picked.
So this time around, Mr. Captain Payne apparently going for the carry role on the Harley. And all of this is basically comfort picks for BREN Esports. This is something that you see them play on streams over and over.
Of course.
And
They basically know it like the back of their hand.
yeah. So we're gonna have to wait and see if comfort pick is gonna be coming out on top, or will Evos come up with something new here? Kadita
And
is gonna
that's
be
a
very
lock-in
good.
on
There you
Kanita.
go.
Alrighty, I'm honestly excited. So that skin on
It's gonna be
Chodo.
cool. Of course, you're gonna show off Iori, but he goes for KOF. Why not? There you
Come
go.
on,
Just showing up.
I think you should. Come on.
Yeah, Iori's probably gonna be picked
Yep.
here. Yeah, good
But
stuff
anyway,
here. So now,
yeah, both teams they have very good composition, but for BREN they have something that they can use for the early game. And but for EVOS PH, they're leaning towards more into the 7-minute onwards type of game. So BREN Esports could take advantage of the first handful of minutes, try to pressure them as much as they can, and from there maybe get the win. But then again, EVOS PH has a really effective late game composition. They have the Lunox, they have the Kadita, the
Yeah.
Famos as well.
they do. They really have a lot of tools to take the early game. So by these pickings alone, who do you think is gonna come out on top here, ladies and gents? Let us know on the chat. Give us a hashtag BRENWin if you think BREN Esports is gonna win, or a hashtag EVOSWin if you think the new name in MPL is gonna come out swinging.
Alrighty, so I don't know, man. I just feel really hyped for this.
Yeah,
Game
so
one,
much,
and they're already going all out.
Yeah, this is the second place team from the previous season, BREN Esports, former champions,
Yes.
and again, never really failed to show us a good showing. So, of course, they're fighting off against SXC, a fresh new team, fresh from the rebrand, and finally has Doofenshmirtz in the main lineup. They used to have them in a different tournament. They were not official, and now they are. So it's gonna be very interesting to see who comes out on top. Big shout out to everyone watching on the stream, the Team Rock Hard people there, and of course everyone who supports esports. Big shout out to you guys. Don't forget, share the stream to all of the ML groups.
Share.
It to your friends. Share it to your timeline. Give us a hashtag Be Legendary. And, we're going to see what happens in this first game for BREN Esports in this season, as well as EVOS. Because, again, very exciting to see what changes this team, what changes an organization could actually have against this, on a team like EVOS.
That's true. Since they do have they did have a rebrand, but they're still the same players. You can't help but ask, what could have Evo's done? What could have they taught these players? So again, it's just a matter of what can this team, this rebranded team, show us.
Yes.
But
exactly.
again, they're pretty much still themselves. They're still Archie, still Haji, still Doofenshmirtz. There's just they sprinkled something new.
Yeah, that's right. Again, so many changes, and nevertheless, still the same people. We're gonna see if additional training was added onto there. We're gonna see if they added anything special to what they have. Again, so much that we can only predict here. There's only so much that we can predict for EVOS PH.
We're just waiting for the game to load in. So again, sit tight wherever you are. You might as well grab a snack and hold on to your seats because again, this is BREN Esports versus EVOS. They're bound to give us an amazing show. It might last a while, but it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, definitely give us a share, and don't forget tag your friends. Let us know who you predict is going to come out on top, and let us know why. Because right now, BREN Esports has a lot of comfort picks. You got Yuji on the Gushin again. So, the Gushin changes were just a minor nerf to slowdowns from the Shadow Blade Slaughter, as well as the minor nerf on the Lightning Truncheon. Now we're going to go into Game 1. BREN Esports versus EVOS PH.
Alrighty. So,
it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top, because a double mage composition is not something you see every day.
well,
From
BREN
Esports.
does do weird things, but weird in a good way. They do know what they're doing.
Absolutely. I feel like BREN Esports will need to come up with something new and not just, you know what, maybe repeating stuff is okay for this team, but it's comfort pick. What are you going to do about comfort pick?
Yep.
It's very difficult to come out with something new, especially when whatever you have in comfort pick works.
Well, it's called comfort pick for a reason, right? Because you just know how to play with that hero even though you're, I don't know, probably asleep or something.
Yeah, let's wait and see here. Of course, Haji is going to be the one on the bottom side of the map. Top lane, Yuji on as well as Hayes on the show. Okay, so
Early aggression from Honda here at the top lane. I remember asking why Kadita wasn't picked up in the during the season 2, and I think Q mentioned something about her skills being cast in slow. But now that EVOS PH actually picked her up, I'm pretty curious to see how Kadita is gonna work well with this composition.
yeah, that's something we'll see later on if that Kadita definitely will work. We did see it work to some effect earlier with a few games being played by Onage. Of course, it did. They did lose out 2-0, but they did do some fun stuff. Now it's going to be a rotation for BREN Esports.
Okay, BREN gonna go all out with a 5-man rotation. Just did a knockup, probably just to try and zone him out. I think both teams are opting for the turtle, but they're just trying to play it cool and wait for just the proper time to strike.
Yeah, EVOS is now the one going for the rotations. Hayes knocks up 3 people. Doofenshmirtz going to be the target there. And now the turtle will go over to the red side squad. First blood on the UG as well. A great blazing duet. However, the damage output is just way too much from EVOS. Forces the rest of BREN Esports to back off. Hayes is now 20% HP. Has to go and run to safety. That's a 2-0 start with a 1,100 goal lead for EVOS PH.
A beautiful start for EVOS PH. Actually, I saw that Dexter on this Dunox, when they were trying to chase someone down, he was literally just free hitting with his ultimate. So if you're a Lunox, that's everything you could ask for.
Yeah, so much free space and a lot of damage output. that needs to be answered by BREN Esports. Hopefully that's going to come in later on. But otherwise, we're going to have to, watch out where that damage is going to come from. I think the job is up to Pain to go on the hunt all the time here. I feel like they need, he's the one who needs to keep constantly hunting down Dexter. Half expecting Doofenshmirtz to go on the Lunox. Otherwise, it's fine to switch it up. Double Mage works great in the early game.
Of course it does, because of the burst and, well, again, early game damage. But let's see if they will be able to sustain it. It's going to be a 4v2 situation. And he does go in. Lunox managed to take down this show. And I think BREN Esports is just going to back away right now since they are in a tight spot.
What a showing here for EVOS.
Wow.
Ducking up Hayes and deleting him from the map. In front is going to be Honda. That's a fast takedown on the turret. 4 minutes in, top lane. No answer for BREN Esports so far. Rebo on the side, trying to lock down that Minotaur, but no one actually to do enough damage. Yuji on the Gushin. Also very, very difficult to find an opening. However, Hayes is going to be the one to look for the targets, and he is not finding anyone because EVOS is just sticking together like glue here.
It's actually really nice, and they are having a time of their lives. I think this gameplay works for them. Let's see if they can keep this up. And again, they are opting for the turtle once more. Hayes jumps in, uses another skill, and he immobilized. Gushin managed to take someone down, but Coco just at the front line, just free hitting. Cho managed to take another kill, and Pain took down this Karita. A double kill for Yuji on this Gushin. So, alright, that's an answer for BREN. You think you guys are having a time of your life? No, we got this.
Yeah, a lot of damage output being given to us by Mr. Yuji on the Gushin. Perfect location of daggers all around. And gave an opening for Coco to actually swoop in with the Blazing Duet, clear out those waves of heroes that he wants to take care of. Whoa, that is a lot of damage. I really want to see the itemization.
Considering it's just 6 minutes in, that is so much damage coming out from a Claude.
That is a lot of damage. It was ridiculous. Hayes is dancing under the tower right now. Honda will receive the deadly magic. Rebo is in the middle of the fight. He will get knocked up, but he is doing a lot of DPS by himself just with the reflect from the Flower of Life there. Hayes plays around with fire. Will he get burned? Apparently water will be there to douse him, but doesn't hit the mark.
Alright, Yugi just getting the buff that he needs. So, alright, I think both teams are now mirroring each other when it comes to aggression, but there's not a boring moment in this game apparently. Earlier, alright, here at the top lane, they're actually taking down this Karita. Harley's ult was committed just for that, but Doofenshmirtz manages to get away.
Wow, barely keeps Karita alive here. Coco again on the bottom side, a perfect ultimate. Takes down the bottom.
You think you can get away? Leo Mord actually gets spotted here, but he just safely goes straight to the mid lane. Maybe get this turret.
Yep, Haji is definitely doing some work, but right now it's going to be BREN Esports in the lead. 2,000 gold ahead with a very powerful Claude in their midst. Now they will try to go for a turtle take once more.
This is why Coco uses Claude.
Yeah, BREN Esports is definitely going to do a lot of damage once you get that turtle buff onto either Coco or Yuji. And they are doing just that right now. Again, the cleanup for the 1-0 free Claude is very easy. However, I just want to see how much damage, how many items he already has. He is level 10.
Honda gets immobilized, and look at the damage UG has. That is a tank.
Way ahead here. Way ahead in levels. That team fight is not actually going to happen unless Hayes has something to do about it.
Which he did, and he's now on a killing spree. Rebo actually has his Athena shield 7 minutes in, so that's something. And alright, Yuji again targeted this Karita, but she does manage to get away. Haji though has an answer to that, but Pain still wants blood, and Cho was able to take down this Karita. And kills are just going all over the map. And Lunox thinks she can free hit, but again has been taken down by this Gushin. A 1v2, Haji really low on health and apparently gets banished from the map.
Wow, damage output is real here from the Gushin and Cho combination. Not to mention Coco doing solo work on the mid lane. Archie cannot actually answer. And now,
That's a Thamos, man.
yeah, top lane is now being 3v1 here. Monster kill for Mage Dad UJ.
Mage Dad. We call him Mage Dad for a reason, apparently. So, alright, few minutes in, EVOS PH was doing well, but BREN Esports just know how to answer them. And from there, I think it's kind of safe to say that from this point on, it could be their game if they are able to hold on to the advantage that they have. And, well, Coco just, just stays alive.
Yeah, exactly. And Coco is definitely a huge factor in the games for BREN Esports. Fast split push, great ability in the team fights. Allows them to just take control of the match. Of course, that's going to be Deadly Magic wasted there by Pain, only used for zoning. Enough to take down the tower though. That's a Breath of the Ocean, not going to connect to any members of BREN Esports. Probably going to be a mid lane tower as well here for the blue side squad.
I love how Hayes is usually the one that does the initiates, and he's just really confident. Just one wave of the dragon into someone, delivers it to his teammates, and from there everyone just jumps in.
Exactly. And jump in they do. So far, a lot of damage output from all the members of BREN Esports. Even their tank is doing a lot with the reflect damage to all of the members.
Frederick is actually a really nice addition to the lineup, given that he dishes out a handful of damage as well. But alright, they actually targeted Honda. They want the tank, and apparently they are able to tear his life up and thus is forced to get away.
Wow, the DPS here is real.
Yep.
BREN Esports getting the Lord at half HP, not even allowing EVOS to come near them. However, it's going to be a team fight. Archie taking the full breath of the Blazing Duet.
Whoa! Alright, it has been followed up by Hayes' Way of the Dragon. It's going to be a 1v2. He managed to take someone down, but Kadita ended the winning streak for this show.
Yep, power of Kadita gets a lot of burst damage, and they will get at least two.
Kadita is now up.
Yep, so we're gonna have to wait for the next rotation because they got the Lord. They got the steal on it, and that will probably be a bit of a hindrance to the plans of BREN Esports.
That's true. But to EVOS PH side, they are able to buy themselves quite some time.
A lot of time being bought here by EVOS with that Lord take. BREN Esports will now have a strong wave of minions pushing top, mid, and bottom lane, while they think of a plan to try to catch either Gushin or Claude, which is proving to be very, very difficult.
That is true. Well, just these two are just waiting there at the top, and Hayes actually targeted this Thamos, and I think it's probably gonna go down, even though he's supposed to be tanky. Phantom Seed has been popped by Haji, but he will not survive, and he will die in the hands of this Harley. And apparently, the damage output for BREN Esports is not gonna stop anytime soon. Lunox managed to bag someone down though. Honda, again, the tank is being ripped apart, and now these three are just forced to get away. But Lord at the top lane though managed to take down one turret.
Yep, the destruction is real here for BREN Esports. Despite losing out that Lord take, they have a lot of items completed. That Coco is just going loco. For the meantime, I feel like BREN Esports just needs to find targets like they did earlier with Archie. 0, 4, and 5. This Famous looks like one of the weakest points here for EVOS that they need to take advantage of.
That's true. I actually noticed how Hayes prioritizes either Honda or Archie. Probably to make sure that there won't be any tanks or there won't be anyone to just be in the front line and shield other members from the damage that they have. Phantom Seed again has been popped, but will BREN Esports try to get away? And I think they did. Alright, they're not gonna go with the fight, and EVOS PH just gonna get away.
Yeah, and Evo is looking a bit more hesitant to go for a big play now that a lot of their plans got stifled right before they get started. So now, it's going to be up to either Honda to make a huge engagement and catch someone off guard, or it might be up to Doofin if he can try to eliminate a very key target, which is proving again to be very difficult.
Hayes, there are three of them. I don't think you should go. I think he's probably gonna die, and he does get taken down by this guy at the Rebo. Honda though targeting this Rebo, but he doesn't care. He's Beleric. He's just gonna run away.
Yeah, just the moment I mentioned Doofin should take out the prime target, he takes down the biggest threat for the EVO's composition, which is of course that show.
They're listening.
That's very important to do, and not to mention, that's going to allow them to control the team fights a lot, because that's going to be a lot of seconds before he goes back online. EVO's takes down turret in mid, and probably will go for second.
Alright, Rebo is the only one here at the front line trying to zone them out as much as he can, and they did, but Pain with the chase decided to just chill and maybe wait for Hayes to join them.
Yep, Hayes is looking like he's back on the battlefield. Can EVO's actually take him down on second time? That's a big question.
Just one ace.
Slowly but surely, EVO's is slowly climbing back into the map. Before it was just BREN Esports' playing field. Now it looks like we have a new challenger.
That is true. They know how to deal with BREN, which probably because again, this is a new season. There are a lot of changes. There are more. The players burn more time into the game itself. So I remember someone asking, but wait, let me hold that thought for a bit. Hayes again targeted Honda, delivered him to his teammates, and apparently this Minotaur does go down. Doofenshmirtz tries to save his teammate, but it just wasn't enough. Committed his ult just to make sure that he can get away, but this Harley managed to take down this Thomas, and of course BREN Esports slowly but surely are knocking onto their enemy space.
Yep.
But first, let us get the Lord.
A lot of control for BREN Esports here. Once they remove Honda from the fight, it's actually easy for Coco to use the ultimate. No one can actually interrupt it until Doofin lands a good Breath of the Ocean. So he can just go crazy, go bananas on the backline without the threat of the Minotaur ultimate. Minoan Fury is the one that they need to stop the Blazing Duet, and the moment that they lost it, and EVO suffered a huge blow to their damage.
I realized something. Honda wasn't able to use a Minoan Fury 15 minutes in. That's because Hayes usually prioritizes him. Or if he does prioritize Archie on this Stamos, Honda is nowhere to be found. Nice decision making and nice plan for BREN, but I think that's something EVOS PH should change. Because again, you picked up Minotaur for the heal and for the Minoan Fury.
Yep, the Minoan Fury definitely looking a bit... it's very difficult to place, considering BREN Esports has so many ways to deal with it. Now that... they have so much mobility, space escape for Pain. Hayes is almost invulnerable. Like right now, going for the kick onto that very squishy tank. Deadly Magic is already there. That is a short kill onto that Minotaur. And now Coco goes in. Blazing Duet to the face of the 4 members of EVOS. And now they will get cleaned up. Lord is wailing. And no more minions means that BREN has to stop. But top lane could be the next target. Yuji goes crazy, dives in.
Yep,
so many Shadow Blades.
And well, Pain decides to go with the assist and manage to take someone down as well. Last 2 members for EVOS PH, but BREN Esports getting away with the win for Game 1.
That was a very impressive Game 1 victory for BREN Esports against EVOS. I thought that would have been a lot... I mean, after that Lord take, that initial Lord take for EVOS, I felt like they could have gone crazy there. I feel like there was just a small amount of push lacking. Maybe it was just a bit of a hesitation there from Honda and from Archie to go for the engages, because it was just so difficult for them to go for fights. Look at the replays here. You can see that EVOS was very confident. Once they have surrounded Dexter, the chases were just always on point afterwards. At some point, they kind of fell apart on the decision-making. Right after these first few successful clashes, I really thought that EVOS was going to come out with a 50-50 here. But eventually, once Hayes started looking for that Minotaur, It was so easy for the rest of BREN Esports to clean up because they didn't have to worry about the cancels on their ultimate.
That's true. And basically, Minotaur was the not exactly the weak hero, but he was the weak point. Like once Honda is down, no one can do the initiate, no one can actually be at the front line, and as we know, they were able to keep Thamus at bay.
Exactly. And the Famous was, of course, very crucial as well to provide some DPS. And because the Famous was not in the way, there was no one to stop Hayes from going bananas like this, hunting down individual members from EVOS, but of course specifically looking for Honda each and every time. Again, the ultimate from this Belleric is just something that you need to deal with. Either ban it out completely or remove Hayes' Cho.
Man.
Removing, look at that one. The moment Honda died, Coco goes in with the Blazing Duet, no hesitation, even though the HP bars for EVOs were actually full for a majority of those fights.
Beautiful, beautiful move, beautiful game one from BREN Esports right there. Like, man.
Yeah.
We saw, going back to it, we've been saying EVOS PH had the first few minutes in, they knew what to do.
Yep.
They were actually good with rotations, but there's just something that ticked in BREN Esports' mind. Like, once this minute hits, once Coco, I guess, was able to dish out so much damage, they just kept on rotating, and again, Hayes prioritizing the tanks, and Pain just basically ripping apart their health bars. It's just mind-blowing.
It really was. I feel like they were doing a great job in keeping everyone from EVOS always on their toes. There was no way. There was no moment where EVOS was just free to breathe after the first half of that game. Again, the constant threat of Hayes going in and hunting down your tanks was very a very scary threat to deal with.
Yes.
And I feel like EVOS, after that very good early game, had such a difficult time finding the fights that worked for them.
It actually rattled them a bit since they do know that their tanks are the ones that BREN Esports want to take down first. So, considering that you have a Lunox that needs two tanks to be in front of her just so she can free hit with her Darkness ult, it wrecks your brain, it messes with your mind because how are we gonna avoid Hayes' Wave of the Dragon? What if Pain jumps in and uses his ult on to Minotaur and all that questions? But
Yep.
it really worked. It worked for BREN Esports. But anyway, first ban for EVOS PH is this Harriet. And second, first ban for
Your
BREN
team
Esports
is
again
banned.
is this Grok. BREN doesn't really like to deal with the Grok, don't
Yep.
they?
We just have to deal. We have to look at the bans whenever they come up like this. We have to deal. What we have to notice is why the rationalization, of course, for BREN Esports. Why do they ban out the Grok? Probably they want to give. They want some heroes that they don't want to. They can't actually remove right away
Your team
with
is
either a
banned.
kick from Cho or a really big Minoan Fury or Kaya Ultimate, which is not really available right now. And EVOS removing a lot of the big burst mage AoE burst mages means that they probably want to go for a composition that wants to go for a 5v5.
But is this a right decision though? Because we know how of course EVOS can be in sync, but BREN Esports sync is in a different level, and we saw that in game
Your
one.
team
Yeah,
is
exactly.
picking.
Oh, okay. BREN apparently stick with their first two bans from game one.
Yep, leaving the Kimmy open for EVOS. Will they go for it? Because I feel like if they do lock it in, they will probably
Your
suffer, and
team is picking.
it's gonna be
And
very
they
easy
did.
for them to deal with a Kimmy. If you lock first
They're
pick,
still gonna have Cho though.
yeah, if
and
you first pick Cho and Gushin, it's very easy to kick the Kimmy to the curb. But they will go
hover on
for
Leomord.
the Leomord instead. That's very brave, I would say, because they don't really need to insta pick the Claude here, knowing that marksman they don't. EVOS probably won't go double marksman. That's what they're thinking right now. So they still have a big priority on the show here. If the Leomord gets picked up, again, it's a comfort hero for Coco. Absolutely
Your
goes
team
bananas
is
whenever he
picking.
picks up Leomord. So I don't blame him. This is
Yep.
still a very good draft here for BREN Esports.
It's basically just all about getting your comfort picks as much as you can, or if you're gonna go with a different hero, you're probably just gonna go with what's gonna work with your team, which we all know that's how Bren works.
Exactly. BREN Esports definitely.
How Bren Belleric though?
They don't actually try. They don't draft that much right now to deal with the composition. They draft with what they're comfortable with, and they draft with what works with their game plan. However, Selena, they don't
Your
wanna
team
have
is
that in the
picking.
ban list anymore. They pick it up right off in the second rotation. Akai though, it's a bit of a weird decision if Yuji goes for the Akai. Probably can stop the aggression from the Selena as well as from the Kimmy, and they lock
Your
it in.
team is
Huh.
banning.
Well, they're probably gonna go. They probably picked Akai, and maybe they want to commit the Hurricane Dance to, like what you said, either Selena or Kimi. But it's more of catching someone off guard when he or she is alone, and then from there rotating somewhere else and initiate a 4v5 clash.
Exactly. So let's wait and see if this is going to be the case here. For EVOS, there's a lot of options
Still
to ban
banned out
now.
Your
Kagura.
team
Still,
is banning.
Still very scared of Mr. Yuji's Kagura, and I don't blame them. There's all of these bans are basically targeted towards Yuji.
That's true.
So let's wait and see if it's going to be a different case here for the pickings. It's like it's almost certainly that they're going to pick Gushin.
Yep.
Probably going to be on fifth rotation. The ban here is going to be one tank.
Your
There you go.
team
Remove
is
one
picking.
another tank to stop the aggression here for Kimmy. I would love to pick Lolita here if they could afford it. I don't think anyone here is going to be there. There you go. Lock in
Your
on the
team
Gushin as
is
They're just
picking.
gonna prioritize more on the damage output for now.
Yeah, they don't really care that much about protection. Wants to go for the damage output right away. And it's the answer here is actually quite clear. Just get one more strong fighter, one more good tank. We have enough DPS from the back, unless you want to go for something crazy. And as I said,
Okay,
they hover over,
that's crazy.
They hover over Estes. I don't blame them for Lapu Lapu, and they lock it.
Ooh. Okay, so
And as I
team
say,
is picking.
going for something crazy, I am going.
they're listening, man. They're listening.
They really are.
I'm not like what you said. Lapu-Lapu pick is not actually surprising, but well, okay. Let's just see if it's gonna work. Estes though, good for sustain because healing and all that, but Estes relies 90%. 90% of Estes just relies on timing.
Okay.
But if he does get bursted down, he's just nada. It's like he never existed. It's like you don't even have a fourth player.
Exactly. Right now, I feel like this is gonna be up to BREN Esports to make the team fights work for their favor. On the other side, it's gonna be it's gonna be up to EVOS to make sure they don't get picked off one by one. If you don't get picked off one by one, it's probably gonna win out for you. But if they take out the Kimmy and the Selena before the team fight, it's gonna be really bad for the EVOS PH team. Of course, if they can make the team fight
Yeah.
work though, they can probably steamroll BREN Esports right there and then.
Going back, they have the Selena, so of course all about early game advantage. They could try and make sure that for the first handful of minutes, again, like what I said in game one, make sure that the advantage will stay to their side. They should snowball, just farm as much as they can, and I have this weird feeling that BREN Esports is gonna initiate as much team fights as they can, so they could counter do a counter gank or avoid the clash, and just maybe stick with the pickoffs up until 15 minutes.
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, share the stream with hashtag BeLegendary. Let us know if you have an EVOS, hashtag EVOS win feeling, or a hashtag BREN win for this game. Don't forget, BREN Esports is ahead by 1 already against EVOS. Again, big shout out to everyone watching on stream with everyone from my stream, Team Rockhart. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Of course, early game for BREN Esports here is gonna have to stay a bit lower, a bit, what do you call this? Low-key. You have to be really careful. Because the early game is very powerful with the Kimmy rotations. I think that's happening right now. Doofenshmirtz on the Selena. He's one of the people who wrote the book on Selena.
Yep.
Look at that. Hits the arrow. They dive in. Bottom lane already in danger for BREN Esports. And Doofin going bananas already. Hayes almost got taken out as well.
Just so happened that his teammate was able to save him. So I realized something. The slow on Estes could be really useful for Selena's arrow.
That's right.
Because
it really is.
Once you accidentally walk towards that circle, it's like you're walking, I don't know, 15 kilometers for, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really slow to the point that I'm quite confident Doofenshmirtz can aim the arrow towards the enemy.
Exactly. I feel like the arrows are a lot easier to hit, especially on slow targets. It's a good thing that Hayes was able to Shinpo in and stop the CC from being locked in, or else he would have died right away. So, it's gonna be another... It's really scary, the rotations that EVOS can actually do in this team fight.
That's true, but then again, is this just gonna last for 2 or 3 clashes, or will they be able to hold this up until the end, to the point that they're gonna win game 2?
Yeah, that's a big question. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out. What kind of godlike adjustment should BREN Esports do against the early game threat that they're doing right now? Apparently, they want to hunt down Doofenshmirtz. Of course, he has the support of that Estes, healing him up back to full.
Alrighty, and there's a pause apparently. So, roughly 2 minutes in, good start for EVOS PH. And Doofenshmirtz on the Selena, really, really good so far.
Yep. Apparently, they want to prove that BREN Esports really has a hard time on the Selena.
Do you think that BREN's weakness
No,
is Selena?
I mean, that's what people want to think. But apparently, I've seen so many games of BREN Esports. They're not really. It's not really their weakness. It's just that they have. Sometimes it did happen in the previous finals, so I have to rebunk anyone who tries to tell me that. All right, so I feel like EVOS is doing a great job in the early game, keeping the former champions at bay, especially stopping the aggression of Hayes on
That's
this
true.
show. It's so important for him to do that. Not to mention, BREN Esports having a hard time killing people because of the healing from this Estes. I mean, I'm pretty sure BREN Esports did not expect super healing to come from this composition. And healing plus Beleric is actually very, very OP.
Yeah,
This is a
that's
combo.
pretty much the epitome of sustain.
Yeah, the combo is just do not die, have everyone protect, have Beleric protect everyone, then heal up Beleric by the Estes. Let's see if that's going to be happening here again on this second game. Once we're back into the game, BREN Esports trying to invade on top side while Archie on the Kimmy make short work of mid.
And to top it off, they managed to get Kimmy, so that's a huge advantage given that Kimmy is going to be well protected. And Hurricane Dance was actually committed there, but gets taken down by Kimmy. Alright, BREN Esports decides to give it a go, but I don't think this is a nice move for them. Turtle was secured by the Selena, and before the clash ended, Lapu-Lapu managed to take down Kapitan Pain.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 2,800 gold lead here. Almost 3K for EVOS. Hayes is on the run, getting hunted down by EVOS here. And Rebo trying to defend around the buff area. 4 people strong in the middle of the fight. Way too late on the Hurricane Dance. Doofin gets him, and that's gonna be another kill for EVOS.
Going back to what you said earlier about he's not being able to go aggressive, I completely agree with that, because comparing game 1 to game 2, he jumps in and then he realizes that he is half or lower than half of his HP bar left. So of course he's forced to get away. He cannot do what he wants.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's a huge factor in playing the tempo game for BREN Esports. The early game by UGN Pain, the assassinations, being disabled by the Estes essentially means that BREN Esports was gonna have to rely on late game for them to survive, and their late game tools do not look promising at all.
That's true, but then again, once late game enters, EVOS PH still has quite the edge.
They really do.
Will they be
EVOS
able to, go up against that?
in the later stages of the game, this Kimmy is going to be almost unstoppable. Dive in by BREN Esports. Rebo, a bit of awkward engage here, forces Honda back. And now
no,
he's the
Rebo.
one who is getting hunted down. Doofenshmirtz is on a killing spree, taking down that bear. And now EVOS is on the hunt once more for BREN Esports members.
First 3 kills of Doofenshmirtz on this arena has been consistently Rebo, so I think he should. He's quite behind now, so he should probably get away. But Coco is apparently the next target. Haji committed his flicker for that, and Kimmy managed to bag the second kill, which is Coco on this team.
What a powerful showing right now that EVOS is giving us with the amount of map pressure and
Man.
the killing potential that this composition
They
has.
bagged that turtle quite fast.
So much survivability here for EVOS. No one's actually dying. That's a 7-0 here. 7,000 goal lead, 6,000 goal lead for EVOS on the hunt against Hayes. That's not something you see the former champion do.
That's true. And well, it was kind of sad that Selena didn't have the Abyssal Arrow then, because I think they could have caught Hayes off guard, but it's okay. He was able to get away, and they're able to rotate now.
Yeah, man. It's looking really good here for EVOS' team. So much damage output, not to mention no one is touchable here, because they're just being protected non-stop by this Belleric. So I'm having a guess, if ever we go to game 3, this guy is definitely going to be one on the ban list.
That's true. If he doesn't get banned though, of course he's gonna get picked up. But I think the odds of him being banned out isn't that high. I mean, he's good for sustain, but I guess both teams have other heroes to prioritize banning.
Yeah, I feel like they can also take that just for themselves. Again, Hayes has no problems dealing with that. So, something to watch out for is what kind of adjustments can BREN do. BREN Esports cannot defend the bottom side of the map at this point. 4 members committed by EVOS to make the push. Top lane, Yuji also trying to make something happen, but then again, that is a mage built for assassination.
That's true. And well, again, Kane just doing the rotations, and Hayes and Coco as well. We actually saw Coco being online or powerful in his squad like 5 or 6 minutes in, but now 7 minutes and he's just 0-1-0. So that's something. EVOS is able to keep this Leomord on check, as well as Hayes.
Wow, that's a lot of early game.
Okay.
The early game is just way too powerful for EVOS, and now they have a fast take on the turtle, hunting down Yelly Hayes here.
Oh no,
on the
Hayes is
show.
gonna be in the middle of everything. Will he be able to escape though? I think he will, and as long as he doesn't get caught by the Abyssal
Great
Arrow.
escape by Hayes, flicker in, and Haji stuns him out
no.
under tower. Killing spree for Archie. Where is the rest of the team? They're trying to get a tower here. Now they will be stopped by Honda and the rest of the EVO squad, looking very promising. EVOS could potentially end the game soon.
That's true. Going back at the bot lane, that was like a 4-5 man commit to Hayes, and BREN Esports wasn't even able to get anything.
Yeah, and BREN Esports, I'm a bit surprised. They really banked on the early game, but so far the early game was stopped by this Estes and the Belleric combo. Who would have thought that would have happened?
That's true. I mean, the moment you said crazy, they hovered and locked in Estes. That's pretty much the perfect moment for it.
It really is. Gonna be a bit of a pause here. Being committed, of course, we want to make sure no network issues were live there.
Make sure that no lag, everything's okay, no tech difficulty. But going back to the game, EVOS PH actually held on to their early game advantage and good early game gameplay way more than they did in game 1. So for now, I think there's a good chance that they're gonna back game 2, but again, they shouldn't prolong the game too much.
Yeah, not too long at all, or else they could probably be in a very bad spot. So they have to be very mindful of where they are in the fights. And I think we're gonna go back into the game now.
All right, again, roughly 8 minutes in, Coco still Zeomord not able to get anything that he wanted, and Rebo on this Akai he just kept on being stomped over by Doofenshmirtz Marcelina. So BREN Esports struggling on to this game too, which could have been their match point.
Exactly. So match point here is not gonna happen anytime soon, I feel like, because of the amount of just smart overall gameplay that's being done here by EVOS all over the map. Wow, it's very impressive, and not to mention, it's very weird to watch the former champions having such a hard time. Hey!
Directing soon.
Locks out a very, very nice snipe there.
Nice snipe and nice damage. Like we all saw how much health was left for Pain, but just one snipe from Archie and he's gone. And okay, now EVOS PH is just gonna offer this Lord. I don't think BREN is gonna contest this anytime soon. Nope,
Yep.
they won't.
It's gonna be a very easy Lord take there
Yeah.
for EVOS, and now they get locked in. This is something. This is a sign of life here for BREN Esports.
Alright, that's their first kill, but they have a Lord to take care of, and Honda, I guess, at the mid lane. Will BREN Esports actually give this a go, though? I think they should try. I think Hayes should try and commit his Way of the Dragon onto Archie, but too many obstacles and too many other heroes should be shushed away.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, Hayes locks down Honda. That is a very critical target there that needed to be taken care of. That could affect the survivability of EVOS in this match. Let's see if
25
that's
seconds
gonna
without
be.
a Balearic.
Yep.
So let's see how EVOS will adjust and how BREN will take care of this, because again, they have a Lord to take care of.
A very, very scary Lord here. They will be taking that out without any much damage to their towers. However, of course, the movement speed, it's not enough to survive. You need to find a way to win as well here.
Zeomord actually going 1v1 with this Lapu-Lapu at the top lane, while everyone else is just at the back lines.
Alright, so something to check here is what's EVO's gonna do? I mean, Honda is way too far. Is this something that BREN wants to take advantage of? Apparently so. Tries to go for the kill onto Dexter, but changes their mind the last minute, and they fade away into the base. That is 4 members only left defending the base of BREN Esports.
Slowly but surely, their base will be open, and I think now is probably the perfect time to actually go in. Bellix has been used, but BREN Esports, again, with their safe distance, they're not gonna try and go fight up and close, because that could spell wrong for them. But alright, Coco actually got caught off guard and was taken down by this Estes. Alright, that's another kill for EVOS PH, and another turret down for the side of BREN Esports. Rebo used his Hurricane Dance, but it just wasn't enough, and now they're gonna rotate and maybe off for the mid lane tower. Yuji trying to defend as much as they can. Hayes, though, actually received a lot of damage and will be forced to get away.
Yeah, clear out those minion waves and stop the push, but that is proving to be a very difficult feat. So much damage output from EVOS. Oh my god, Hayes almost got taken out there completely. Yuji will be absorbing that rocket from Kimmy. And now it's a clean base here for BREN Esports. Happy death for the former champions.
Happy death indeed, and if in retrospect, EVOS PH base has still 2 turrets up for the top lane, 3 in the mid lane, and 2 at the bot lane. So if BREN Esports is gonna try and maybe open a lane, they're forced to go to the top lane. But then again, they don't have any turrets left. It's literally just there, wide open, vulnerable for EVOS PH to just split push and eventually come in and maybe take down for themselves.
Yeah, very, very easily. And EVOS looking a lot better here. This time around, that first game loss really got them into perspective. A lot of damage out of being absorbed by Rebo inside the base, and now EVOS is just waiting for an opportunity to strike. They are now 12.5 thousand gold ahead of BREN Esports.
This is really, wow, just really different from the BREN esports that we saw from game one. It's really
You're
obvious that
resurrecting soon.
they're struggling.
Yeah, they really are, and the struggle is real. This new team, wow, really, I mean, this old new team,
All new team.
really
right?
looking a lot different, especially with the addition of Doofin. Definitely leading the charge each and every time. Archie goes for that very quick lure take.
If
Will
Brent
be
can steal this, alright, they did not. Coco jumps in though, but I think he's probably gonna get taken out, but he manages to
Launch
get away.
attack!
Honda though received Harley's ult, and will Brent Esports actually commit to this clash? Nope, they won't. They're just gonna back away. Coco actually evaded that abyssal arrow, but gets sniped down by Kimmy though. But again, he's still alive. All's good. No one died from the side of BREN Esports.
This is gonna be do or die in this specific game. If BREN Esports cannot defend this, if Pay
Oh.
goes down, this could be bad. What a damage output from Doofin and the Rockets in the middle of the fight.
He's
Oh my gosh!
down.
He's able to kick back Honda, but not before he goes down. Coco will be eliminated, and ladies and gentlemen, it is looking like we are going to game free. EVOS PH takes a win against BREN Esports.
Okay. Apparently that Estes
Victory!
pick really worked well for them. In addition to that, Belleric.
What is happening here?
Wow. GGWP indeed. Archie 6-0-8. Haji and Honda were the only ones that died, and both of them died once.
Exactly.
Just
so
once.
much. It's so weird. I mean, I really did not expect that to happen at all, and the fact that they were able to survive the early onslaught from BREN Esports definitely shows tons of good potential from the Evo squad. Of course, let's have a look at the replays. As you can see, the combo of that Estes and Belleric, never thought I'd say that, definitely proved to give BREN Esports such a hard time here.
Is this a new meta? Is this a new combo? Let's wait and see.
This is definitely looking like a very, very good combo here. And something that a lot of teams might pick up. Ger Haji with a very slick play, but again, slick plays are not what we want to see. We want to see the really squishy, the really crunchy plays, which I think is one of them. Right there, the snipes against Pain.
He just disappeared in the map. This is a nice play from BREN Esports though. We have Dragon to the tank and just there under turret, but it just wasn't enough. BREN Esports struggled as much as they can. They did try down to the last clash. They did try to dish out as much damage and even sustain themselves as much as they can, but EVOS PH, they already had the snowball that they want. Selena is already had a monster kill. Kimi was having the time of her life, and Honda can just tank as much damage as he can. So it was pretty much too late.
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought Coco was actually going to be able to reach Archie, but of course, they had immortality. There really wasn't any way for them to, take out a pick. But for the meantime, man, it really did look really clean there from EVOS. So much potential here from this budding
Old new team.
old new team here. So something to watch out for, guys. Belleric and Estes, it does work.
It does
apparently,
work.
So
So if you guys are gonna play anytime soon and you see an Estes, or
yeah.
it's gonna be weird, but well, maybe it's gonna work. Maybe. We saw EVOS use it. Of course, that's a pro team. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's wait and see. I feel like it could definitely work in this specific scenario where there's a lot of early game burst damage from BREN Esports, Gushin, and the Harley. I'm not 100% sure if it's gonna work consistently, but they sure as hell are going to try, and they did make it work a few times there. Hopefully that's also going to be the case later on, or I don't know, maybe it really is worth a ban. I'm not sure if it's worth a ban slot, but you really do not want a repeat of that draft at all.
Yep. I still think Estes is not ban worthy, so they could go with trying to shut him down in the early game, making sure that he doesn't get the itemizations and the assists that he needs. And maybe pick someone that pretty much counters him.
Yeah. Maybe the counter is just removal of regeneration or something that needs to be taken care of here. I'm not sure if Necklace of Durance is going to be enough for that duo, but let's wait and see if what kind of adjustments BREN
Your
Esports is
team
going to make
is banned.
against EVOS PH here. A very strong showing from this squad. And now BREN Esports looks like they're going to be sticking to what works.
Yep, I actually
Selena.
Your team
expect
is
them to
banning.
ban out Selena.
No more Selena plays. Doofen is definitely one of the people to watch out here for EVOS. Definitely proved he was worth a ban slot. So next ban's probably gonna be Kimmy. Don't want to give Kimmy over to Ren. However, could probably just ban out Cho. I don't know. Cho is Jesus Cho is definitely something to watch out
Your
for.
team is
EVOS
picking.
Cho decides to ban it out instead of giving it over.
All right, so apparently this is gonna be a first pick Cho, or unless they decided to prioritize Claude. But I don't think they're gonna give away Cho.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that is something to watch out for later on. So I feel like Cho is still, I mean, even though he did fail in the earlier game, yeah, I mean, it's still pretty much worth
Your team
picking
is
up. And they
picking.
do that right there, right now. So that's absolutely, that's a right decision there for BREN.
Hovren, Belleric, and okay.
Yep, the Belleric Lunox combination. Apparently they have a lot of trust in the Belleric. I think Belleric in this matchup is 100% pick and ban so far. So that's 100% as well in my book.
They're probably gonna lock that in, and it's okay because we saw that in game one, Lunox was okay. It just so happened that she wasn't able to have two tanks in front of her.
Your
That's why she
team
couldn't
is picking.
do what she technically wants.
Yeah. So maybe this time around it might be a lot better for the Evo squad. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, for the BREN squad, we'll have to wait and see because you know what, they don't have Estes, well, they still probably have Estes, but they won't have the unstoppable damage output of the Kimmy this time around unless they can sub in someone else. In which case, that might be a different case, but just to be safe, BREN Esports is going to be hovering over that Hellcurt. Rebo is very happy to take that,
Your
hunt
team
down
is picking.
any big damage threat that EVOs can come up with. Specifically, the Hellcurt works really well against Lunox players.
Yep. I actually think that they clocked in Hellcurt just to make sure that someone's gonna keep on hunting down Lunox.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, they're still gonna go with Estes since that worked. Alright.
Estes, apparently
Your
they
team
really
is
want to
banning.
make something happen here. Make a name for themselves. If this works a second time, expect the meta here to change for the
Yep.
Philippines. Something they really want to, they're really banking on here, and not surprised. That's something I would do, and it does make a lot of sense. Belleric is a tank that is very reliant on his HP bar, on the amount of health that he has. So if you
Your
supplement that
team
with
is banning.
an Estes who can
Healing.
keep his HP up at the same time defending his whole team.
That's basically hitting two birds with one stone. You can sustain Belleric, but at the same time, you'll be able to heal your other members and make sure that they are sustained as well.
Exactly. So wait and see here, ladies and gentlemen.
Your
They
team
still don't
is
want to see
picking.
that Kagura in play.
Yep, no Kagura for the meantime. I feel like the Thanos ban is not super needed, but they went for it anyway. And there's gonna be a probable take on the Claude. Claude would be a great take up here for
Or
EVOS,
Gushin.
but I'm not sure they will. Probably could take a Gushin.
Let's
Wait and see, cause okay, Lapu Lapu apparently
Your
they
team
have a lot
is
of.
picking.
I don't know. I feel like Lapu Lapu does work a lot with Estes. Same with Belleric. If you go into just Berserker mode here for Lapu Lapu, you can do a lot of damage output, and if he is kept alive and safe here.
And if you're able to time Lapu-Lapu's ult properly, you can pretty much make sure that that the enemy team is gonna be stunned or mobilized for a handful of seconds. And from
Okay.
there, Lunox will probably
Your
use her
team
ult
is
and just
picking.
everyone jumps in afterwards. A lock-in on Gord and okay, Josh.
Alright, Jawhead and Gord players rejoice. This is your moment to shine.
It's your time. Okay, wow.
Okay, lock in the Nana, why not? So, ladies and gents, I hope you guys are ready for some intense off-meta action. All of these heroes, you don't usually see them in the rank queue, but
But apparently you can
well,
see
yeah.
them in MPL here in the Philippines.
Watch the pro teams work at it. Of course, Nana has been revamped on the passive there. Almost provides you with complete immortality if you play it properly. So
Oh, yeah, I
watch out for
realized
these
something.
picks.
Both teams haven't picked up Diggy. That's probably the last hero that you forgot to say that's banned out.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, we're gonna go into game 3, ladies and gentlemen. BREN Esports versus EVOS PH. Let us know who you think's gonna win. Hashtag EVOS win. Hashtag BREN win on the chat. Make sure you share with hashtag Be Legendary, and we are going to see who wins out on this one.
Alrighty, again, this is game 3. Last game, last series. Both teams were performed really well to the point that they managed to force a game 3. So I'm excited. I'm curious who's gonna win this. Who's gonna come out of this place with smiles on their faces.
Yep, exactly. Something to watch out for is who can play off the meta better. Let's go ahead and find out.
Alright.
BREN Esports and EVOS PH game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you got your clips ready. We might see some weird things happening right now.
Okay,
And
weird
Bufin.
happening indeed. Then Dufin actually managed to get away there. That was really, really close for Pain and really close for Pain as well. You know what? Nana is actually quite irritating to deal with.
It really is very difficult to deal with. Not to mention, very hard to to take down. That's basically it. So if he builds full DPS or damage output, there's gonna be something full CDR, not damage output. Sorry, full CDR. That's a lot of disables for this squad.
And while it's gonna be difficult to evade the, I'm not even sure what to call it. The teddy bears
Yeah,
that she
Moning.
places.
Actually, it's Moni.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the name of that that small cat.
ew.
It's real weird. I
don't
know.
like the name. Anyway, so going back again, this is game 3. So share the live stream, guys. Both of these teams are just focusing on farming for now. They're not gonna go with any flashy plays like the one that we saw in the mid lane. The moment the transition
That
removed.
very dizzy transition. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for giving me a worse headache that I already have. But so far, I feel like EVOS is, you know what, they're holding steady. They have a weirder, I would say they have a weirder composition. But I don't know. I really still feel like there's a lot more from this comp than meets the eye. And we're going to have to see if it works for them.
Maybe it will, but let's we haven't seen any plays from Dufin yet. He actually almost died in the early game.
Yeah.
Nice commitment on the laser from Gord right there. And BREN Esports managed to secure the first turtle of the game.
Yeah, man, that's very important there. A very important takedown for, of course, BREN Esports needs to rotate faster because I feel like they're leaving Archie open.
Yep.
So much. Alright. Attack onto Honda. That's a lot of HP being willed down on their main tank.
But they're under turret, so I think they managed to get away. I strongly believe they could have targeted Archie, but maybe they prioritized the tank first just to make sure that if they do manage to take the tank down, they can follow it up with a kill from Lunox.
Yeah, exactly. But Lunox, something to keep your eyes on, because even though he's 0-0-0, as long as he can get some minions into his body, I think that's all he needs. Pain on the jawhead. I haven't seen this since Season 1.
Yep.
Wow, very impressive. Alright, so we're gonna have to wait and see if this works. Mage that can probably pilot any mage, as long as it is a mage, as long as it uses a magic power.
Yep. He has his own. Basically, he's a wizard.
Yuji in person is a wizard,
Launch
for
attack.
sure. Alright. So far, ooh! That's laser cutting
Ouch.
precision there. Forces
Ouch.
Honda to use the ultimate. Archie dives in though. He's not scared. He doesn't know Remo's actually there. First blood goes to Coco, but it will be traded quite easily by Haji in the mid lane. How the Lapu Lapu picks, man. Really working out very well for them.
I think the moment Lapu Lapu was buffed like 2 or 3 patches ago, teams decided to use him, and they think that he is viable in the meta. Which, if you guys wonder why,
Resurrecting soon.
tada, right there. That's the reason.
Yep. And now,
Launch attack.
I don't know. I still don't want to see none on my rank games. However, I'm gonna have to probably endure it if EVOS wins. So let's not win. I'm just kidding. Obviously,
You're just too scared.
I am scared of Nana on the solo queue. Anyway, let's look and see here. Evo's going for the invade on the turtle. Gets kicked on by Hayes.
Right there, the perfect timing for the laser from Yuji, and that is a clean fight for BREN Esports. But the red team managed to get the turtle. Hayes so proud actually wanted to go up against Archie, but decided to get away because his health is really low. For now, though, Archie is the only one left here, just farming, while the other 3 are probably opting to take a kill on this Lunox.
Yes, and now BREN is the one in charge here.
Yep.
Man, I don't know. I still don't want to see Gordo in the rank. I don't know who I want to win more. I'm just kidding. Obviously, BREN has a lot more DPS. They have such a huge kill threat with Pain on the jawhead.
Yes.
One ejector could probably spell
there's 2 of
disaster.
them. Hayes actually got immobilized. It's gonna be a 1v3 situation. Will be able to
Whoa.
get away. But alright, other members of BREN Esports here. Darkness has been used. Honda getting so much damage, but Nana managed to take down this health rate. But alright, the damage output from BREN Esports is just too much. One by one, members of EVOS PH are actually going down. And that's another kill going over to BREN Esports. A killing spree and a double kill for this Lapu Lapu. But Lunox managed to shut down this Leomord, though. It's gonna be a 4-for-3 trade in favor of EVOS.
Yeah, I was ready to make fun of Hayes, making fun of EVOS, making a quick letting Hayes escape 1v4. But apparently EVOS had different plans. 1 by 1 they went in, and 1 by 1 they fell down. Haji was able to clean up in the end, almost eliminates BREN Esports comp. Even BREN had to bail out of there before they got cleaned up.
The reaction time from EVOS PH, just wow, man.
Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. The way that BREN Esports is coping up with the damage output from this composition.
Turtle resurrecting soon.
Wow, so many things going on the side of BREN here. However, how do you actually deal with so much CC from EVOS here? How do you deal with the Nana disables? How do you deal with the Dexter? Apparently just kill the Estes before he can provide some healing.
They could try and prioritize Estes or Nana first, or catch Nana off guard.
Catch
But-
Nana off guard.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing, but usually Nana is being accompanied by someone else, so how, right? So I guess BREN Esports has no choice but to try and go 5v5. Decision making and just, the pressure can be quite a lot on their shoulders, but it's something that they have to face.
Are they gonna eject her in? And I think the charge! Right on the docket there. Great ultimate by Archie. However, they still need to defend against the push from BREN Esports. Top
is now
lane.
up for this Beleric, and while everything is happening there at the top lane, Coco on this helper just having the time of his life, farming all alone here at the bot lane. Like, imagine if you received a fully charged deadly poison stingers in the face. That's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah, Coco has been left farming here on the bottom side for a huge part of this series. So Coco, once he goes into the game, is probably going to dictate a lot of the fights happening this time around. Look at that push. So fast. So smooth from BREN Coco. And now, what's EVO's going to do here? They're slowly getting picked apart. Just like right now.
Okay, wow.
Wow, a kick off by Hayes.
I think they're trying to catch Hayes off guard or take him down before they go with the team fight, which is smart because Hayes is usually the one that does the initiates. But he's able to get away time and time again. Maybe he finally got the grasp of how EVOS goes 1v3 with him, against him.
Wow, we are experiencing a very intense matchup here. I don't expect this to end anytime soon. However, right now, stay the game. We got 4,000 gold lead for BREN Esports, full map control, and an opportunity to go for the Lord. Honda will spot them out. Yuji throwing out some balls, clear out anyone trying to snipe.
Yes, that is true. Yes, Yuji is throwing them out. But that was it apparently was just a lore dance. They do not want to commit because there's a chance that EVOS might try and contest it. Belleric used his ult for that, but I think that was unnecessary. Because now his ult is burned, and alright, they managed to catch Honda off guard, and Pain actually targeting him. He actually ejects him. He's probably gonna go down, but he managed to that was a kill on this Pain, and Archie's probably the next one that's gonna go down. A double kill for this Jawhead, for Pain on this Jawhead. Dexter is the next target, and BREN Esports is not gonna stop anytime soon. Haji though probably gonna try and save his teammate as much as he can, but nope, Hayes at the front line, still chasing him down. He's not gonna stop anytime soon. A killing spree for this guard, managed to take Doofenshmirtz down.
Wow, it is looking really scary here for EVOS PH. BREN Esports now have an 8,000 gold lead, and now they have the Lord. It's gonna be very guys gotta watch out here.
They're gonna walk alongside the Lord, and it's quite safe to say that things are looking good for BREN Esports.
Yep, looking really good here for the blue side squad. Former champions from MPL PH Season 1. Wow, look at the amount of itemization and the level gap is just way too massive.
You can literally notice it just by looking at them, but if EVOS manages to get an ace, then that's a huge opportunity for them. But if BREN managed to take at least 2 of them down, it's gonna spell bad for them. Like here right now, Hayes actually jumps in. He is that confident. Gore's ult has been used as well. Honda at the front line, but wait, before anything else happens, the turret actually goes out alongside with the Lord, and from there, BREN Esports is just gonna get away.
Wow, BREN Esports. I was a bit surprised they can't actually clear that up. So right now, EVOS gonna be left to defend the bottom side of the map. And big minions aside, top lane still gonna be pushing, so that's something that BREN can actually take advantage of. Not to mention, they have everyone from EVOS inside the base right now.
Yep.
Clearing up waves is not gonna be a problem here. And now 5 members on bot. Yeah, that's a lot of
commitment.
Commitment here from the EVOS squad.
Given
just
that
to defend.
Hayes was there at the top lane trying to split push.
Alright, so Hayes is in the middle of the fight. It's like he's acting like he's not alone, but he really is.
Yep.
And it's enough to scare EVOS back into their base, apparently, though. Clearing up.
Slowly but surely, BREN Esports is just inching towards their enemy space. Alright,
Yep.
the other 2 members are at the top lane. This could possibly be the last clash.
Yep. So let's see if EVOS can put up a good defense here against BREN Esports. Top lane probably gonna be attacked at the same time. I can already smell the split push being planned by Coco. Doofen gonna try to clear up as much, planting those seeds there to stop anyone who tries to dive in. The mechanics of this definitely not working out well for Evos at this point.
It's so funny how Hayes is literally so confident with just jumping in and out of the base, even though he's literally alone.
Yeah, he does have the immortality. Not to mention the invulnerability. Yeah, see there? Stopping. He just Shunpo into one of those critters and
Yep.
they can't really
Ooh.
stop. Oh my god.
Damage on
Okay,
Rico
that's
though.
a
He's
lot.
now forced to recall.
And that's a lot of burst damage coming from Evos' Doofin. And now, we also have something else to watch out for aside from Archie.
I think Evos could try and go with the pickup for a fight given that there's only 2 members from BREN lurking into their base.
Alright. BREN Esports, I feel like they're just trying to wear out.
Yeah.
They're trying to wear out Evos.
They're trying to probably stress them out.
Yeah,
like
they're
they're
trying to
just
split them up non-stop around top
mind
top
games.
bot, top bot non-stop. And see who drops the ball first.
And see who tries it actually goes in. But first, Rebo, let me just get this buff before y'all get crazy there in EVOS PH's base.
Problem is, they could probably go for the Lord here. That's the
Lord
big opening that we have
resurrecting
for BREN Esports.
They could have been waiting for the Lord though. That's why they're just, lurking left, right, top, bottom.
Yeah, I feel like the Lord is gonna be next on the docket here. So let's wait and see if... Okay, yeah, Coco could, at this point, level 15, Coco can probably solo it. While
And
everyone
other
else...
members are just gonna, distract members of EVOS, which I think they technically can't even leave their base at this point.
Yeah. Solo Lord by Coco.
Yep, alright.
Very easy to achieve here, considering we're almost 15 minutes into the game. Alright, this is gonna be the Lord end that you guys have been asking for in the chat. And Hayes gets everyone scouted out, so they have knowledge of where EVOS PH
If I were
are.
someone from EVOS right now, I would literally be stressed because they're right there, but they're not doing anything. They're not actually doing any initiate. So it's just full-on mind games.
Yeah, the stress is real here. For the red side squad at this point, drawing the game even
Come on,
longer.
just do something, man. I think BREN Esports is waiting for EVOS to actually drop the first move or do the initiate.
And here is the Lord walking inside the red squad
Dash
base.
up in a few more seconds.
Lord attacking the base at this point. What will Evos do? They will just willed it out. Apparently, the minion's gonna be enough to push top and mid. Laser by Yuji. And Haji dives in. Forces the flicker out of that cord. But the turrets are not going to be able to withstand the pressure from BREN Esports. Kickback by Hell Yelly Hayes will shut down that Lapu Lapu. And I think that is going to be it.
Yep, that's gonna be it. Archie's actually the next target, but he manages to get away. Honda though is receiving so much damage. He managed to take on the Hellbird, but he does go down as well. Now Archie and Doofin are the only ones left alive. With Archie's health really low, he actually went into the path of the Phantom Seed, and from there, it's gonna be a game for BREN Esports.
Congratulations, former champions will win this series with a 2-1 victory. EVOS PH, they put up one heck of a fight there against BREN Esports. The guys in black and yellow definitely showing they really grew in this previous offseason.
Black and yellow, indeed. So, but EVOS actually put up a really good fight. I guess it just so happened that I'm not sure if it's the veteran experience, but when it comes to execution and trying to get a hold of the tempo, BREN Esports just had that the moment the first 5 or 6 minutes came into game 3.
Yeah. I feel like tempo is very important, especially in matchups like these where you have a hero like Lunox who needs to do the early game power, because in the later stages of the game, he kind of falls off, especially with that scoreline 1, 2, and 4. You can already tell that he did not get as much gold as he should have got.
That's true. And well, I'm still kinda questioning myself why they locked in and picked Nana, but maybe they had something in mind. It just so happened that they weren't able to execute it, but I can technically forgive the Estes pick and overlook it, but for Nana,
It was weird.
it
It
was
was like
weird. You,
it.
you literally could have just picked up someone else.
It really was. I feel like one huge burst mage. If Dufin just went for Gushin, probably. I
Could
don't
have been a
know.
different story. I do agree.
I feel like they went a bit too far in the memery for this one. So, I mean, it was a nice attempt to get Nana into meta,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently that change onto the change mechanic onto the passive just way too not enough. I mean, even Pain on the Jawhead, who was silently buffed in the previous patches,
Mm-hmm.
was a better pick comparatively.
That's true. And well, I think they probably picked Nana just so they can zone out members from BREN Esports, but they kept on avoiding the traps. They managed to catch Nana off guard. They were able to burst her down, and from there they targeted Archie afterwards. Then Dexter, Honda sometimes is the priority target. Just it didn't quite work.
Yeah. I really need to study up on this S-Test pick because I know it was changed a bit as well. So something that everyone in solo queue might want to do before locking it in as
Yep.
well.
You guys might want to, just because pro teams do it,
Yep.
doesn't mean. Well, technically you can, but read up first. It
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. So again, this was a great attempt at a Nana pick. But in the end, BREN Esports will be the ones who come out on top in this series. It's 2-1, so it's only 2 points added to BREN Esports and 1 point going over
EVOS.
to EVOS. Very nice win there.
Perfect
So
series to end the day, honestly.
yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna be looking at the scoreboards. Do we have a scoreboard? We're gonna
Apparently we
probably
don't
gonna have
yet.
that in the later weeks.
Mhm.
But if you want more information, make sure you follow the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Facebook page. Forget follow us as well on our handles. I'm RockheartGG. She's Yuko PH on Facebook Gaming, and man, it's really just so fun and refreshing to watch some of these teams go nuts here on the MPL once more. It's regular season. It's the first week. And don't forget, guys, if you were wondering, tomorrow we still have a lot of games. We have teams that you haven't actually seen before go head to head against some of the best in the MPL from the previous seasons. So that's something to really watch out for.
Alrighty, so I guess that's pretty much it. This has been day one, last series, BREN emerging victorious on this 2-1, and we have been your casters. I'm Yuko.
I'm Rockhard. Again, thank you so much to Game, our sponsors, Gamely, Smart, Real Me, Facebook Gaming, and especially, of course, to Moonton for giving us a very good MPL. Of course, we will be seeing you guys soon. Don't forget, like and follow, and see you tomorrow.
それに頼るつもりはない。
Legendary! Legendary! Launch attack!